Hey guys, it's TheProdigalFish. No, from now I'm gonna try to do these podcast things. The people that were gonna help me couldn't show up, but that's life. So I just go on and talk about just Warhammer stuff and random things. Thanks for joining me. These are just for fun, not really trying to be serious. Maybe later on I can get actual guests and we can talk about things who are way smarter at Warhammer than I am. I don't think I even said that right. So, where was it? So I'll be honest, I've not been a Warhammer fan for like my whole life, like a lot of people have. I was one of those people that kind of like looked down on people that painted the figurines more about Warhammer, and the irony, you usually enjoy the things you hate. So I got into Warhammer around 2019 during COVID. So I got sent home for like a month and a half. And while we were there, just hanging out with my wife, I needed something else to do too, because we ended up getting COVID and sick anyway. Like the one time we went out to the grocery store. And while we were there, this is around the time I saw Flash Gits for the first time. The furry apocalypse, and they're out there just killing the furries. Man, that was great. I was like, this is quality content. This is like God intended. And that's what did it. Unfortunately, that's how I got into Warhammer. I started looking into it, and I was writing my book. I need something to listen to, and I downloaded. What did I download? I looked up some videos from One Mind Syndicate. Oh, Warhammer, man, those are very dry. And by the way, if you're trying to get into Warhammer, you want to know stuff, they'll read it to you, and it's from the wiki. And that kind of pissed me off, though, because if I wanted to hear from the wiki, I just could have read it or put narrator. So, yeah. So if you like that kind of stuff, go for it. But if you want people who like, or at least speaking their minds, if you can handle it, Major Kill's kind of a good source. He's very raunchy. Doesn't necessarily bother me, but some people may not be into that. So yeah, I learned a lot from Major Kill and his unique personality. He'd have made a great Marine. I'm trying to think what else we got there. My favorite faction, well, it's the Imperium of Mankind. Why? Because I'm human. Well, everybody here's human, even if they don't think they are. Damn furries. Ugh, so we'll talk about that some other time. So I like the Imperium of Man because it's like the most brutal regime ever, and it has to be to keep it all together, but it doesn't have to at the same time. Like most people in the Imperium, they like own probably the clothes on their backs, and those probably aren't that good. They'll work the same job. Like imagine you work at like a toothpaste factory, and your whole purpose in life is to screw the caps of the toothpaste onto the toothpaste. That's all you'll do. And the working conditions are terrible, and if there's no such thing as OSHA. If you get hurt, you were just screwed. And you'll work that same toothpaste cap job for the rest of your life or until you die of some accident. And when that happens, you'll be replaced. You will be replaced probably in minutes. And that just sucks, I think. That's one of the horrible things about there. So, like, the whole thing is ran by the High Lords of Terrorists and these high families. And it's just a horrible way to live. Like, you have no freedom. You have no choice. You may be like, why do you like it? Well, that's the only thing we'd have if you were a human. Let's be honest, normal people cannot just go serve the Chaos God and become champions. They could care less. Like all those poor people who get gypped into believing chaos is the way. They're never going to retire, and they're never going to find what they're looking for. They're just fodder. And honestly, that's pretty sad. Not that the Imperium isn't. Most Imperial Guardsmen will not survive their first deployment. And it's crazy because there's like 500 trillion Guardsmen on active duty service. And every planet has something called a planetary defense force, and it has like millions and millions of people, if you're lucky. Like if you got some backwater planet, you probably not have that many. But if you got like a hive city, yeah, they got a lot. Let me see. The fleet, like the Imperial Navy, is also just as horrible. There are people who spend their entire lives on the ship. They have families. They've been on the ship for generations. That their skin is like pale white. Like they have no. What's that word? Not melatonin. What's the other stuff? Melanin in their skin. That they could not physically walk on planets. They would just fall into jelly. I think they're called void people, and that's their whole purpose. Just generations and generations and generations of people on these ships, working the lower decks. And every time these ships blow up, like tens of thousands of people die on each one of these massive warships. And that's just horrible. Trying to think if we can get there. Yeah, whenever they need more bodies, they just go to nearby planets and they'll just pull people at random. Like you could be sending your kid to go like get groceries and you would never know what happened to him Or her. They just get conscripted. If you want to have like a decent life, I think the most decent life in the Imperium, if you want to go to like a nice agriculture world where you can just farm. Do you know that's what Rabute Guliman wanted to do? He wanted to retire after the Great Crusade. Like, I know that his sons were planning to retire and just govern the worlds because that's what they're good at. But then when Horus Heresy happened, they didn't have a choice. They had to keep going. That's why a lot of the firstborns are dead. And the ones that are still around are also not happy. I think Dante is the oldest one. He's like 1,500 years old. And it's just crazy that the Custodes, like, they're the oldest. They know about what happened. They were there with the Emperor. And yet the Inquisition, well, they can't mess with them because they couldn't take them out if they really wanted to. It would take like millions upon millions of lives to kill these Custodes. Not just that. I think what else would happen. Yeah, it'd be so impossible. So they know that the Emperor was never a god. And Rabute knows that the Emperor was never a god. And Lionel Johnson sure as hell knows that he was never wanted to be a god. And most of the Primarch's sons also knew, well, the traitor ones knew that he's not a god. Well, the Loyalists, they can't say anything, because if they do, because the Ecclesiarchy loves their power. And the High Lords of Terra, they have like an agreement that as long as they don't mess with the Church's power, they can pretty much do whatever they want. They make laws that affect the lives of trillions and trillions of people, but doesn't affect them. So yeah, the Inquisition, man, it's just... I just like it because it's just all you have. Let me see, a Tau. I mean, the Tau are, in all honesty, they're pretty advanced. Like, they really are advanced people, creatures, things. But they're naive. I mean, they're starting to get smart. You got, like, General, what was his name? What the hell's his name? The badass. Like, Farsight, he's pretty cool. And I can't remember the other girl, the one that everybody, like, ships him, Kitten. Shadow's son? Yeah, those two together, air quote, from that, but, they're also just as bad. Well, not necessarily the Tau, but their leaders, the Ethereals? Yeah, those guys, in the end, they're just really just dictators the same way. The Tyranids, they're just straight up about it. They're just trying to eat. Just trying to eat what they can and create more of them. The thing that makes you wonder is, what are they running from? Like, what could be so badass that these bugs that literally eat planets are running away from? So why did I make a Fractured World History? Well, I originally had like a history channel called Fractured World History. And I tried my best, but it never really took off. So it's there with like 3,000 members, but I post stuff and nobody was really responding. I don't know what happened, so I just kind of gave up a little bit. So I started really getting into more Warhammer stuff. And I used to post in the Imperium of Man. And they just kept deleting my stuff saying it wasn't Warhammer related. And I made a Brother Terry me post it, and you guys really liked it, so I kept posting them, and they just deleted them all one day. I tried talking to people in charge, and they said it wasn't Warhammer related. Meanwhile, you got some like titty pictures every single day. There's nothing wrong with a good pair of titties, but come on, man. I don't even need to see fur, people's porn addictions, dude. Sheesh. I got mad, and I made my own Facebook group, which you all know about that now. And from there, it's just taken off. We got like 2,100 members, almost 2,200 in 3 months. So that's the secret, kids. Do everything you want to do out of hatred, and you'll succeed. So yeah, I made Brother Terry. He's a foul mouth. He was 8,000, but now he's like 10,000-year-old dreadnought. Dude's been around since like the Unification Wars. You got my character, Inquisitor Fish, which is definitely not my personality projecting. Just an asshole that's just trying to get through life, that's always disappointing his subordinates. That is a soft spot. You got Helen. She was an orphan. Now she's trained to be an Inquisitor, and Inquisitor Fish probably isn't the best one to teach her. Excuse me. You have Shovel Kid. I love the Deathcore Krieg. Out of all of them, I love the Deathcore Krieg. Their world's pretty messed up, though. Like, their whole world is a death world. And the short version is they went to war against, I guess, traitors of their planet because they wanted to succeed from the Imperium. So what was happening is they joined the Imperium, and every year they'd send their kids to go join the military, and these kids would never come back because they would just die for the Emperor's endless wars. And most of the planet just succeeded. They just didn't want to be part of it. They fought a war for I think it was like 50 years. It was a long time. By the time, I think the Jurgen, his name's Colonel Jurgen or Jurgen, his side's losing. And so instead of just surrendering, he does the ultimate Giga Chad move. He just nukes the planet. And even after the enemy surrenders, they just keep nuking them. And they just fight it till there's nothing left. And now they have something called Vitaya wounds. And I don't know if that means they're clones or just, bred. But it's everybody calls them little shovel boys. I love them. So what happens, people don't know, for the Deathcore Krieg, what happens is when you come of age, they take all your genetic material, aka your sperm, and then they sterilize the men. And the women, they get their limbs cut off, and they're just permanent baby factories. You can look it up. I'm like, well, this is horrible. So yeah. Besides that, they're my favorite because they just don't care. They just want to die. They just want to die in glorious battle. What could be better than that? Kind of loser wants to live a long life, right? So yeah, Shovel Kid. I think of the other characters. You have the Chaos Gods. You have I think we called Gordon is Nurgle. Caroline is a Slanesh, and she's obsessed with Brother Terry. And you have Kyle, which is Corrin. I can't remember what we named Zeech because I haven't really had him around because I haven't had a story, and I don't want to throw too many things at you guys yet. So we're trying to build our little Terryverse lore here. Which reminds me, thank you so much for being part of the group, guys. That does help a lot. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't do this, but I wake up to like inbox full of you guys giving me your ideas or just saying thank you. And that's really why I do it. Because, I mean, what could be better than trying to make someone's day besides dying in glorious battle? Probably knowing that somewhere there's somebody who gets up looking forward to your work. And that's just great. I'm trying to think of other groups. The other groups I recommend that you should look into is obviously you have Heresy Posting by Danny Fortuna and Meme Posting. Those two are really good. There was a Warhammer 40k group that had like 83,000 people, but somehow the admins they gave it over to these bots, and they would just do like the t-shirt giveaways. I'm like, man, what a waste, dude. What a waste. I'm happy with what we have, and I really would like it to be more. I would like to be like a big group, and that way we wouldn't need to deal with anyone else. Now, regarding gatekeeping, I think that gatekeeping is when you have to try to keep... I think it's stupid. I'm going to call it gatekeeping. I do not gatekeep. I know I say I hate furries, but anybody is allowed to join the group. They really are. As long as they understand that I'm not going to cater to them. I'm going to cater to the majority of people. In reality, it's my group, and I post what I want, and if you like it, you hit like, or you tell me what you like, and I'll make what you want. But I ain't ever going to post no furry stuff, and I'm not going to post like porn, dude. Come on. I think what else is going on. What other Warhammer stuff do I know? I know a lot. Just can't think right now. The Catachan Jungle Fighters. These people are born on a world that's like Pandora on steroids. Everybody wants to kill you. Everything wants to kill you on that planet. Even the people want to kill you. So these people have to be tough. And they are some of the toughest. I'm going to be like, I know I love my shovel boys, but the Catachan, woo, they do not care. Like, their commissars, people that go to watch them, do not survive very long. I think they just get friendly fired like grenades, or they just get eaten, or they just don't survive battle because the Catachans do not respect them. These people are, like, so tough. Of course they're not going to respect a commissar. Not that commissars are a pushover. I made a video about the commissars, how their training is. They're like the elite trained troops, but they have to do more things. And things are getting really bad when the commissars start shooting the enemy. And in actuality, the commissars don't all just shoot their guardsmen because they know they wouldn't survive, but they will shoot them for like stupid stuff. But not like in the memes. Unfortunately, we get a lot of our information from the memes, so we just take it as that. Like the whole Rubute Goleman and the what's her name, Yvain, the damn dark elf. They're not really a couple. I think they say like 3 sentences to each other in a conversation. And that was about it. I think he's talking about, like, this. I think he calls her a witch, and she practically calls him a Makai. So there's that. They were never together, but hey, memes are fun, right? I love Warhammer because it's such a rich lore, and that people want to change it. And most people that want to change it have never actually read it. And I don't expect everybody to know every single aspect of freaking Warhammer. It's impossible. And I'm sure someone does, or claims that they can, but I'm going to call BS on that. Because it's always changing. Sometimes Game Workshop just changes it for the hell of it. Excuse me. I talk about one last thing here. prices. Jeez Louise, Games Workshop is out of their damn mind. They did not have to raise prices to what they do. I mean, I love Warhammer, but it is not that good that I have to spend like $900 for 20 figurines. I know in Italy it's like $1,200 for a damn box. That's insane. A starter kit's like $120. Who the hell's gonna pay $120 for that to get starter kit? Come on, dude. Me, I have a decent job, and I've always bought my figurines the right way, but it's at the point, man, where I'm probably gonna start 3D printing my own figurines. And they're like, but you can't do that. You won't be able to play in competitions. Dude, I have like an army that okay, I haven't painted them all. I'm garbage, but I am working on it. I'm never going to play a game. I'm never going to play a game because there's nobody in my area that has Warhammer stuff. If they are, they don't want to talk about it. And I'm never going to play professionally. Jeez Louise. And here, these games take like forever. I would like to, but I can't. And I'm okay with that. I just paint them because they're fun and they're relaxing. There's something relaxing about the little plastic crack. That's pretty much that. I'll just keep painting them, and once I finish my box, I'll probably start 3D printing them. Have like a whole army of shovel boys, and they'll just sit where they sit till I finally get a box for them to sit in. I might give them to my kid when he's old enough. He doesn't put them in his mouth, just so he can have these things in case one day he wants to play Warhammer. If not, it is what it is. It's just something that makes me happy, and that's what you should really focus on in life. I mean, most people have, we work a lot. You gotta find something that makes you happy. I'm happily married. I got a kid, and sometimes you gotta find a hobby. And my hobby was writing, but I had serious writer block. I'm like 144 pages away from finishing my book. It's a lot harder than you think. Like, the book's done. It just has to be edited. In the meantime, I just got into Warhammer, and I got the group, and that makes me happy. I wake up every day knowing that there are people who want to see the Brother Tarek memes, and I'm going to keep making them. Till I can't, I die, or people don't want to see them anymore. Either way, I'm happy. And a lot of people can't say that. And I encourage you to find some happiness. And get outside and touch grass every once in a while. Work out. If you're religious, go for that. If you're not, more power to you. Do whatever you want. But find something that gives you purpose. It just makes me go, you know what? I woke up today. Unfortunately. I'm kidding. You should always be grateful to wake up. There's a lot of people who didn't wake up. And just go for it. Just be happy. I'm trying to think what else I got. Yeah, as we go by, I'll try to get more guests that way. Everybody's busy, and I can't expect people to like stop their lives to help me, but if you guys want to be in these, go for it. We'll just talk about Warhammer stuff or just random things. It's not meant to be something crazy or serious. I'm no Major Kill. Though I will try to make some more lore videos. I will. But for right now, these will just have to do. This is just a little test podcast, just to give you an idea, just a talk. Talking about normal things in life, and I won't do political commentary because there's plenty of that in the world. Nobody cares about politics. Politics are like assholes. You didn't pay me $1 to see mine, and I don't want to see yours, so it's pretty much that. I appreciate your time. Like I said, these will get better as they go. This is the Prodigal Fish, signing off. Bye.